Welcome everybody to the WAVEcast, episode 3. I'm already making my friend Amanda laugh. I'm here with our co-host Sarah Pittman and our wonderful board of directors member, secretary of the board of directors, if I may say so myself, Amanda Brey. She's also the co-lead of the outreach and support team for us. And we are actually really excited about today because today, the day we're reporting this, is Giving Tuesday, not Monday or Wednesday. That's a different day. I really got to start talking clearly here. And we're just really excited to be able to thank you and just talk a little bit about Giving Tuesday and what it means to our organization. And really just give all of the gratitude and all of the thankfulness we can to all of you. So I just wanted to open up by saying welcome, ladies. And as we talked pre-show today, pre-show like some big show or something like that. Pre-podcast today, I'm sure everybody's tired of hearing from me, but just as a couple of reminders for folks, the WAVEcast is our way of just getting information, interviews, perspectives, stories, essentially, to all of you, the people who support WAVE Project. We know that we would be nothing without you, and we're just so very grateful. And, whether you're a long-form person who likes to listen on your commute, or, these days with less content out there, if you want to go on YouTube and tune in, or you can actually subscribe on all major podcast companies, is that a thing? Podcast companies, channels, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, set it up, it'll download it right there. But anyways, we're really grateful to have this opportunity to speak with you. And without further ado, I am going to get out of the way. And I'm going to say, ladies, what do you have to say? Giving Tuesday, it is fantastic. It is wonderful. Speak to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, well, we just want to say thank you so much for just giving us the opportunity to share a little bit what's going on with the WAVE Project. As Todd mentioned, today is just a really exciting day. We're recording on Giving Tuesday. And so we just, as an organization, as a entity, want to say thank you so much for supporting all that WAVE is doing. We're so excited about what's happening in the future with WAVE, and everything that we do is fueled by these donations that come from you. And whether that's big or small, we just want to, be outright and say thank you so much. And it's been a great year, And we have regular supporters who, out of the kindness of their heart, donate every month. And that may look, small, like $10 a month, $20 a month. Some of our monthly donors are, donating large amounts every month, whether it's big or small. It all goes to fuel the mission of bringing mobile showers to the community around us. And more than just mobile showers, it's about connecting and building relationships and hearing each other's story. And I think that's why the WAVEcast gets us so excited, is because we're really about connecting and sharing these stories. And so, again, just thank you so much for, investing in this idea of really connecting people with where they are. The idea of the mobile shower is to go where the need really is. And so we're just excited about just more opportunities to continue to go. And Giving Tuesday is really just a tipping off point for this end of year. Giving Tuesday won't just end. We won't just shut off, the opportunity to give. So if you didn't get a chance to yet and you're listening to this and are excited about what WAVE is doing, we just invite you to jump in and be a part of it. There's no limit to that. So as you evaluate your end of year giving, and if it's on your heart to donate to WAVE, we just would say thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, and so we're really excited to have Amanda with us, as Todd introduced. And so, Amanda, I would love to just have you share a little bit about who you are, your story, and what your involvement with WAVE has been.
I'll tell you right up front who she is. She is a competitor of mine, because, Amanda, before we jumped on, I realized that you started your own mobile showers end-of-year campaign to fundraise with your crew. I don't know if you saw, I started mine, Team Gordon. I know Sarah's got hers going. So I'm competitive. So any of the Team Gordon people out there, let's get after it. Okay. Compete. We have until January 1st, but thanks for starting that campaign, Amanda. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, Sarah. But
you got a little bit of a head start, but I'm coming for you.
Right.
I think you both have me beat. I think mine has got a few donors so far, but
Hey, every little bit
I love
helps.
it. Yeah. That's right. So, Amanda, we're just excited to hear a little bit more about your story and your involvement with WAVE. I know for me personally, you're just a dear friend who I love so much and just enjoy serving with you. Todd, you're included too.
Thank you.
But Amanda, you're my girl, and I'm just, first of all, just so thankful to be on mission with you and your family, and just it's been so exciting to see you jump on board and really support WAVE, and you just bring such an awesome energy. So I would love for you just to share with everyone listening and watching a little bit about how you got involved.
Yeah, cool. Thanks, Sarah. And you guys know we feel the same way about you guys. It's an incredible blessing in my life to be part of WAVE. And so anyway, I'm Amanda Brey. I live out in Chesterfield, Michigan. I'm married to Scott, and I have 2 kids. One's in 9th grade and one is in 6th grade. And I work for Dell, the computer company, and I do human resources for them. Worked remotely from my home for about 6 years.
Amanda, I felt like you said Adele, like you worked for the singer Adele there for a moment. Like, it's like you work for Adele? Wow, that's crazy. I didn't know that.
Michael Dell.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so for about 6 years, I've been at my home, and I do human resources for them. So I support team members across the United States with their HR needs. So it's pretty cool to be able to do that in a support role, like in my day job. I really appreciate being able to really help people like on a day-to-day basis, from anything from like benefit needs to, grievances. It really just kind of depends on the day. You never know what you're going to get. So yeah, I started out with WAVE after serving with both of you at a ministry called Kaleo through our church. And we were really meeting weekly to teach the arts to kids that don't have experience with the arts in their school district. And we were coming in there weekly and teaching dance, drama, and music to them. And each of you were teachers and friends of mine. And that's where I started to hear little whispers of this beautiful word, WAVE project, and hearing a little more and learning that really your organization at the core was really founded in love. And really, at the time, it wasn't about showers. It was just really about, okay, here's this group of friends, and we want to go out in the community and we want to love our community. And we're not sure what that looks like or who that is or how we're about to do that, but we're gonna figure it out. And that quickly evolved to showers, and that's kind of where I came in right before you all made the transition to, okay, we're gonna go ahead and go for the purchase of a mobile shower.
So, Amanda, I want to jump in real quick if I can, because I remember those days. Correct me if I'm wrong, ladies. It's Seminole Elementary over there in Mount Clemens.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So for us being over there at Seminole and for us serving at Kaleo, I remember when we first started talking about you being involved, and when I first approached you about it, and I asked, hey, we're thinking about maybe, this, and would you be interested in volunteering? And do you remember that moment? Do you remember what happened there?
Where we were? Yes, I do. Clearly, we were right outside the cafeteria there, leaning up against the windows. I'll never forget it, because for me, it was an answer to prayer. Really, I mean, it was something that I had been praying for many years. I didn't really know exactly what I was praying for, but I knew that I had a desire and a purpose to be involved in my community somehow. I knew that I was not the type of person that was going to go ahead and start something on my own, but that I was really good in a support role, and that if I could just stumble upon a group that was kind of starting, that it didn't really matter to me what it was. It just happened to be my wheelhouse with loving on people. I mean, it's something that I enjoy doing. So I was able to dive right in. So I'll never forget that moment and realizing it when I was talking to you, Todd, that, this was really an answer to years of prayer for me.
Yeah,
to step back.
I remember that you just did not hesitate at all. I was like, hey,
Yeah.
will you be a part of this? And I didn't even get it out of my mouth. I was like, yes, yes, yeah. And
Amanda.
no, and I actually stopped and I was like, well,
are you sure?
No, are you sure? Do you want to think about it? You're like, no, I don't need to. Like, I've been praying about it. Yes, absolutely. And, I don't mean to state that like for it being like an over eagerness, but like just a testament to you and being in tune, having a heart that is just so founded in service, and just to speak to the idea of when God puts things in our mind and our heart, whether it be serving with a local organization or helping a neighbor, to be thoughtful and prayerful about it, so that when the opportunity arises, God's already spoken that wisdom into us, and we know how to be obedient. That just so impressed me.
And I knew I loved serving with you already, both of you already, and we did so successfully. And so it seemed like a very natural kind of transition from, Kaleo into this, even though they're totally separate wheelhouses. We really, it was like, yep, okay, this is the group that I was intended to be with. Here we go. Let's just hop on their little coattails and let's see what we can do. Yeah. And then, here we are. What, a year and a half later with a mobile shower. We were able to work together to fundraise around the purchase of a mobile shower, which was huge. My husband had the opportunity to drive down with you, Todd, to get the shower, which was a huge moment, and I'll never forget it. Kind of rolling into Kensington, Kensington's parking lot that night, and just how exciting that was to just know that God was gonna, do something. And we were in that dang parking lot, and people were already coming up to us like, oh, hey, what is this? Oh yeah, we need a shower. It was so cool. It was just so stinking cool. So
there's been a lot of cool energy seeing the trailer be purchased to fundraise that, to get it, on the ground moving and out there in the community has been really, really exciting to see. And it's been awesome that you've been such a part of that too. And, thinking back on those early days, like, just talk a little bit more maybe about like how you were involved in that. I mean, you mentioned fundraising. I mean, I think of that, the showcase for showers with the music that you really just helped get off the ground, and you did so much with that. And talk a little bit too about, I know you've been obviously helping us so much with like the outreach and support. Like, what does that look like, and what's involved with that?
So definitely the showcase for showers was probably the most rewarding thing that I've done, hardest work I've done for Wave Project, and most rewarding, because it really led up to a good portion of our dollars to purchase the showers. And while it was certainly a community effort, my focus was really kind of on like just soliciting donations from businesses in the forms of product and money. And we did a great raffle, had some wonderful musicians and bands out there, and were able to raise a heck of a lot of money to purchase that shower. And Sarah, you both talked a lot about Giving Tuesday. With COVID, pre-COVID, actually, I think probably like the week before the shutdown, Todd and I were visiting a site to plan our second big fundraiser. And that's why this year I think Giving Tuesday is so important for us, is because like most nonprofits, we missed out on the opportunity to have our big fundraising event this year. So that is definitely part of what I do for Wave is the try to get involved in the annual fundraising exercises. In lieu of that, we get inquiries from churches or warming centers, different organizations about the services that we offer. And I really reach out to them and just try to figure out what it is that they're doing. Most are providing a meal. a warm place to hang out for a little while. They might be providing some clothing or some other services. And then they're really hoping that we can come along and provide another service, which is the shower. And
Right.
so what I do with my partner, Chris, is we head out to the sites. And now with Steve, our new leader, he's also going out there, and we survey the sites and try to make sure that it's a fit for WAVE, that we can logistically, there's a spot for the trailer. Can we run it? Is there the proper utilities there to do so safely and successfully and securely? And if so, then we kind of hand it off to the next group that's going to go ahead and handle the services and welcome our guests and register them and allow them to shower in a warm, safe place.
Yeah. So you really, are doing a lot of this connecting point for WAVE and our partners. And that is just such a huge piece of making things really happen. We have this great service and there's a lot of people who need help. But how do we bring those two together and find the places where we can really get out there and serve and help people where they are? And so what you do and what Chris does is just such a huge part of what goes into the heart of WAVE. So for us to say thank you for all the work that you've been doing with WAVE over this time, it's just, we're just so honored that you would come alongside of WAVE and really support the efforts in such a huge way. And thinking about those early days, like you were talking about, I kind of forgot about a lot of that personally, just what those early days really looked like. And, those of us who were dreaming it and praying about it and asking God, like you said, we didn't even know if it was going to be a mobile shower. We had no idea. We just had this burden to get out there and help people. And we didn't know what that looked like. And we really didn't want to step on other organizations' toes, right? There's so many great organizations out there, like you were saying. So how can WAVE support what already exists and really amplify those services and help? And it's just such a testament to how God works when we say yes and step out in faith, even though we don't know what it is at all. God just pours it out and he brings the people who need to be a part of it to really make it happen. And he just grows it and takes it into a new direction that we didn't even know was going to be.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And sure, that's what we're experiencing now, with COVID, is that the way we care for our homeless community looks very different than it did a year ago, right? Thankfully with some of the grants that are out there, a lot of our homeless brothers and sisters are in hotels and so they have access to showers. So how WAVE Project moves forward in a pandemic looks much different than it did a year ago. And so, like you said, how do we come alongside these partners to support them? It looks different than a year ago, and hopefully it'll look different than it does today, a year from now. But we just really try to figure that out. And that's where that partnership from the outreach and support role, I think, is really important, is that we try to figure out, okay, how can we help you, church in Pontiac? How can we help you and come alongside you and support you? And that's the beauty of the body of Christ, right? Is where can we be? Yeah, we got the shower. That's awesome. But what else can we do? We just want to love on you. How else can we do that?
All right, so I did want to do two things just for me, and Sarah, you're driving the thing here, but I'm gonna actually jump in with a couple of things just to kind of be annoying to you. Anyways, Amanda, when I was hearing you speak, it reminded me of part of the conversation that I was having with Steve, and I just wondered, there may be nothing here, but when you think about your everyday with Dell, and even your experiences being a parent, being a wife. Just how you're built by God. How has God used all of that in what he's doing through you with WAVE? And I do need to say it, as with Steve and Sarah and so many other people, we would not be where we are without you. All of what you do, who you are, I joke with you all the time, you're my spirit animal. So when you think about your day job, who you are as a mom and a wife and all of that, how has God used any or all of that in how he's placed you with WAVE?
Well, I think probably just, if there's one thing about me, that I'm probably pretty organized, and and I can be a little bullheaded sometimes too, and sometimes we're a group of friends too, and sometimes we need to hear it straight, and I feel like we do that when we need to do that for each other. But definitely, the organization and the desire to move forward, to move quickly, is definitely ingrained in me as a mom, as a wife, to keep progressing and keep going. And I feel like that's something that, as a new nonprofit, we need to do, and we need to focus on, like, keep moving, keep chugging to the next step, and not get stuck in the minutia. Because I really feel like there's nothing Satan wants more than the trailer, like, sitting in a garage somewhere, and he's just like reveling in that. And if we can get that trailer out, that's where it needs to be. And that's my desire, is like pushing things forward, even if it means a couple of showers, get it out there, get it seen, get it known, and get it used, to bless the people, and to really be cautious and careful with the funds that folks provide to us. We have a huge responsibility, in my opinion, with these donations that we get. And people are expecting us to provide showers and to bless others, and we have a responsibility to do that. And the only way we can do that is to get the showers out. Yeah. So we got to keep moving.
You got that mama momentum.
Yeah, push y'all.
Amanda gets it done.
And Sarah, we're hoping that you and I can co-host a lot of these together. So over time, I'm hoping to draw a lot of this out of you as well. So, same question for you. Maybe talk a little bit, it's almost like episodes of Sarah, right? Talk a little bit about like who you are, what you do. And then secondly, like how God has used your experiences, how he's built you within.
Oh yeah, sure. So, so I'm one of the co-founders with WAVE, and I live in Clinton Township and also attend Kensington Church. We're really involved there, and I've been involved with the marketing team from pretty much the beginning. So you've seen a lot of posts come out that I've had a hand in, and really just kind of focusing on messaging and how we want to get our name and branding out there for people to see and know. So that's been really fun. My background actually is in communications and public relations, although by profession, I don't do that in my day job at all. So although that's my educational experience and something I'm passionate about, I work part-time at a dental office in Clarkston. So I have about a 40-minute commute, although with COVID, my commute has been about 30 minutes. So there's some silver linings to this year.
We're commute buddies. We're commute buddies.
We are.
Yeah, going 59 up to 75 out that way.
Yeah. So, by my day job, I help people. I answer the phones. I'm making people feel comfortable at a dental office, which is most people's least favorite place to be. And I get to meet people, brand new people every day. And that's something I really love. And I think my heart, I really resonate, Amanda, with what you say so much. Like, I just love to help people. And in fact, I had actually a patient one time actually kind of criticized me. He's like, you're really smiling too much. This was pre-COVID. No one was wearing masks.
Whoa. Wait, hold on. Smiling too, that's a thing? Like, what is...
Yeah, my sunshininess was just a little bit too much. He probably was having a bad day. He was at the dental office. I like to be helpful. I like to make people feel comfortable. And so I think all of that is just building blocks to where God has brought me and my family today. And so being involved in WAVE is just one more opportunity for me to love people, to hear people's stories. And so it all kind of comes together for me personally in my life.
That's
and
awesome.
Sarah, I just have to say, such an incredible blessing. I got to see firsthand, you really have poured into hundreds of children, by using your voice and teaching them how to use their voice, and it was such a beautiful thing to watch, just how you lovingly and kindly could get a child who is so shy, and so like, oh, I'm not going to sing in front of somebody, and create this beautiful, comfortable place for them to showcase their talents. And it was just like awesome to see. So your impact beyond WAVE really stems into our community of youngsters, including my daughter, and Todd's kids too. So, man, such a blessing, Sarah. I love you for that, girl.
Yeah, thanks,
I want to zoom out with that too, because, for the person who's listening to this, and, I don't want to assign anything to anybody else, but there are plenty of times in my life where I would see something that was inspiring, or hear of a cause that just like stirred something in me, and whether it would be the enemy or maybe self-doubt or a bad day. Maybe I was the guy saying you smiled too much, Sarah.
No, you would never say that.
I'd find a way to doubt myself, or I'd find a way to say not me, and welcoming all, valuing everyone. You guys mentioned it from the beginning, with just a group of, no offense, ordinary people that we're blessed to have friendships. I mean, you guys sort of almost tongue-in-cheek reply back to me with it, but I call you guys friend. Hey friend, that's my deal. That just, we're in community and encourage one another, and we're able to just listen and follow God. And for me, to hear you guys and how full your life is, I just want to say to anybody who's listening, you don't have to give 40 hours a week. The food pantry. Right. You don't have to be somebody that is, killing themselves or burning it at both ends of the stick. You just have to say yes. What I'm hearing from you guys is, that you love to help, you love to serve, and you were just willing to say yes and part. With that, I'd like to, going forward, if it's okay with you, Sarah, kind of weave these next questions into our guests that we have on. So I'm going to go kind of like lightning round, and I'm going to have the two of you sort of like, send your answers back and build off of them. And this is just to kind of connect your experience with WAVE Project, your experience serving, your experience behind the scenes with some of the things that the public might be wondering about, some of the things that they might be thinking. The person who is donating $10 a month, wanting to know where the other side. So in your opinion, ladies, the brain trust of WAVE, when we think about homelessness, and specifically hygiene services, in your opinion, what is the need out there? Who's
going first, Amanda?
Yeah, I mean, I just feel like it's love. I mean, I don't know if that satisfies you, but I really believe that the shower is just the mechanism. It's just the thing we use, and it really is about building relationships and getting to know people's stories, and then offering them a shower is a bonus, and being able to be on the other side of watching them walk out after, walking in, looking and feeling one way, and walking out looking and feeling a completely different way. I mean, it's about love. That's why I give money to WAVE Project. The showers is just the mechanism in which we use to show our love, but it really is about building relationships for me.
I mean, I would literally just say ditto to that, but I think it's so much about love, and it's about treating each other with respect and with dignity. And I think that a lot of times in our society, we really focus on the mechanisms, like you said, Amanda. We get really excited about the thing or the service, and that's great. And if that, if you want to donate to the service or the mechanism, that's good. But really the heart of it is to show one another that you are just as valuable. You are welcome. You are valued. You are loved. You don't have to be a certain way or act a certain way or have a certain status, that you are valuable because you're a human being. And so when we treat one another in that way, we elevate everybody at the table. We elevate everybody in the room, that we're all on equal footing, and that to recognize that I am not better than, and no one else is less than me. And so to really have that mindset and to, like you said, Amanda, to hear people's stories and who they are and where they come from is very powerful. It's not just a crutch or a conversation piece to get them to the shower. Those moments where we're asking somebody, what's your name? How are you? What is your story? Those moments are more powerful, in my opinion, than the shower. The shower is great and it gives people dignity and respect, and it's wonderful, and that's why we're a part of it, right? But we know that the heart of it is to give everybody a chance to be valued and loved.
Yeah, and to be in community.
Absolutely.
Hey, that was wonderful. And when I hear what you're saying, makes me think of just like going beyond the surface level. Right? Of course, people need to feel clean. We're so lucky to be partners with Blessing Bags Brigade, who helps us provide hygiene kits for our guests. But, once we have those surface level needs met, smiling volunteer, or even when we think about our partner, sites we're going to partner with, volunteers that show up to strike up conversation, get to know them, place value in those relationships, literally is in our name. I do want to pivot to the second question here, and it builds off of that. Mandy, you said earlier something about hitching your wagon to, something that was moving and being able to, maybe you didn't use the nerdy term hitch your wagon. That's like me over here in my flannel shirt, but something to that extent. You're like, no, I did not say that. But, get involved with something, right? I think sometimes people have the reservation that it's like, I want to, but I can't do all of that, right? Like I can't be all of what's needed for that. So, even with COVID right now, different sorts of comfort levels, being able to or not able to be involved to a certain extent because of our, different situations. When we think about what WAVE is doing out there, can you guys talk a little bit about how the person who's making a donation, how that connects to the volunteers that are serving, how that connects to the trailers showing up, how that connects to the end game, and how truly, like you guys were saying, it's about relationships. We can all be the hands and feet, right? And we're all connected in one body. Can you talk about what WAVE is doing and how each of us doing one little part really contributes to everything? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think, to your point, every dollar that we receive really goes directly into the mission of, as you said, getting the trailer out there. And it funds just the basic operation of the trailer and the truck and the maintenance and the supplies. We are so blessed with amazing partners, as you guys both have mentioned, with having services donated and hygiene items donated. We just have a wealth of resources as far as community goes, but it takes those dollars to get the trailer on the street and going. And so every time that you give, you really support just bringing, a warm shower to a real person. Yeah. And so that just has direct impact. You can feel really good about where your money's going when it comes to WAVE. And that makes me feel good being a part of it too, to know, like you said, Amanda, you had mentioned that earlier, just being really responsible with the money that is received, that we take that very seriously. We want to make sure that we're using those funds in a way that honors what we say we're doing. And I think that's been a really beautiful thing to see the trailer go out, and we're always evaluating, where is the need, like you said too, with COVID, it has really changed. Where is the need right now, and where is WAVE going to go in the future? And we've got our sights set on some other, other opportunities as well. We're always evaluating it. Like I said, we would love to be moving into Wayne County and Detroit and serving if that, opportunity becomes available, and it's something we're actively looking at. We've had some great support through Oakland County and people who are excited, to see WAVE come out that way, specifically maybe in Pontiac. So we're really always looking to see that grow. And, we're looking to offer more services during the week. Right now, we are all volunteer driven, which is beautiful. And we offer those services when our volunteers are available, which is usually on the weekends. So, Amanda, as you know, working with the outreach and support, when we have a site partner that says, okay, well, can you be here every Thursday from 10 to 4? That's a huge barrier right now for WAVE because we don't have the personnel to operate on a daytime, weekday type of event. So that's a huge opportunity for WAVE to come to a place where we would be able to, possibly employ somebody part-time to be running the shower and have a volunteer team that is available during the week. That's a huge need right now. And we've had to turn away opportunities to be in those places because we just don't have that capability yet. And we know it's coming and we're excited.
Yeah, absolutely. And I agree with everything Sarah said, and just want to continue to speak that out and believe that it's coming our way because there is a huge need. Like she said, we all have full-time jobs and, most of us have the weekends free. And so that's when we're operating. But man, there's homeless during the week and they need somewhere to go and they need somewhere to eat and shower. And there are organizations that are really just waiting for us to roll up and offer showers to those that are in need. And so that's where I think we really need to go next as an organization, and to be able to support our community and take things to the next level is to get that shower rolling during the week, Monday through Friday, 9 to 4 during those days. It is really the essential next step, in my opinion, for our organization.
Well, thank you, ladies, for your wisdom and your perspective related to that, and for placating my little curveball with my question. But the last one I had written down here, actually, Sarah, connects to something I heard you talking about, before we jumped on the podcast here, related to, our reason for volunteering or, some of our stories. So I know you had a couple of things that you wanted to throw out really.
Yeah, I mean, I really love to think about why WAVE projects exist. I think we've talked a lot about that on this episode, and really coming back to the heart of why we do things. And I actually would love to hear, Amanda, you've been so much on the ground when it comes to even with outreach and support, but even back with like the barbecue days, or, we were doing just the outreach barbecue meals once a month. And, you've really been in there. You've worked on the welcome team, greeting people and getting people checked in too. And I'd love to hear, any stories that have really impacted you over this past, amount of time since we've started.
Yeah, awesome. So 2 really come to mind, and man, do I miss those barbecues. I really do. I love the barbecues. Hopefully one day we'll get back to those. But one happened to be at a barbecue, and Sarah, you may remember what this beautiful woman, walked up, and we just happened to have one of the local stations there. And they were filming and promoting what we were doing and really wanting to get the word out for us. And she just happened to be a former employee of this particular TV station. She was there as a homeless guest, and she was literally like hiding behind us physically in shame. And it was really a moment for me that I'll never forget. She was someone who wasn't expected to be homeless. She was literally like $500 away from whether or not she was going to have somewhere to stay or not. She loaned her mom $500, and her mom had said she was going to pay her back in a week and didn't, and that was the difference for her. Whether she was going to have a warm place to stay, and here she was, hiding behind us because her colleagues were there filming us doing what we were doing. And I see her still around town, and we've offered her meals and things like that. Some of the things we've done through COVID at the parks, and she still continues to struggle, but she got in the shower, and
that's what I was just thinking. Yeah, no, I was remembering, and she was very reluctant too. I mean, even after that whole TV thing, talk about that.
it was just so beautiful because she came out and she was just like sobbing.
Ugh.
I just can't imagine the experience that she had there and walking out and feeling differently. And I just remember, several of our, Laura embracing her and, telling her it was going to be okay. And it was just a beautiful moment that I had never expected. And I tried to really put myself in that situation. It was eye-opening to me to really understand that really $500 is the difference for
Sure.
someone. That's a complete life change, complete lifestyle change. The other event that I have to bring up, and I swear I think about this all the time, and it was one that really changed my life. But I have been in the corporate world for 20 plus years, and I
You
worked
started
out
when you were like 5 or 6?
yeah, like, I don't know.
It's a weird recruiting program. Man.
Yes, toddler recruiter.
Yeah, I mean, hard being 29 out here in the streets.
That's right, tough. But I worked out at an automobile company out in Auburn Hills, and professional environment. I was a leader out there, and someone that reported to me grew up in Rochester Hills, and worked in our call center environment. And this was 12 years ago, and we roll up at a warming center and offering services, and I'll be darned, but there she is.
Mm.
One of my former employees, and she's one of our guests. She's staying there at one of the warming centers, and she was caring for her parents. She wasn't married. She was a single woman, probably in her 50s. Her both of her parents, she had been caring for them for quite some time, and they had passed away. And the house, they rented their home, and so once they passed, the rent, kept coming in, and she didn't have a job anymore. She had been caring for them, and that was the difference for her. She was on the street, and here we were providing my former corporate team member, a shower.
Wow.
And I'll tell you guys, it broke me for weeks. I mean, I just could not believe it, because it never dawned on me that I would encounter someone from my corporate life. I thought, oh, who knows, I'll run into somebody, or, somebody with a drug problem, or, somebody, whatever, that was abused, but never did I ever think that somebody from my professional corporate life that was literally sitting next to me for years, doing a great job, would end up at a homeless shelter, and we would be offering her a shower.
Wow.
Yeah, and a lot of people think that it's 15 steps away, or 2 counties over, or across 8 Mile or whatever else. And to your point, Amanda, it could be us. A couple of bad breaks.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that's what really impacted me, was to see her. And I think about her all the time, and wonder, where she is. I haven't seen her since that time. But we'll see. She didn't have any family to take care of her. She didn't have anywhere to go, and thankfully she had a warm place to stay that night. We were able to give her a shower. But that's my why, right? That's it, is that you don't know what other people. I thought I knew, I never thought, that this beautiful woman would have had any problems like that would have ever ended up on the street. But she did. And I know she never intended to, I'm sure. But so that's my why. That's why I do what I do, is because of those 2 women.
And that is so powerful, because I think it's such a call to remember that homelessness doesn't happen in a vacuum.
No.
Every single person is exactly like your friend. Every single person has a full story of exactly how they ended up in the situation that they are. And regardless of, poor choices or whatever we want to say, everybody has a story, and not everybody is, just a victim of their own bad choices. Sometimes things happen that you do not have control over. And, so I think that is just so powerful and important to remember, because those are those moments that we realize exactly why we're doing what we're doing, and to really value people as a human.
Yeah.
Well,
absolutely, Sarah. I mean, I completely agree. I guess we have these stereotypical views before we really do this work as to what, and who these folks are. And yeah, there's some of that, but once you really get into it and again, get to know these stories, and understand the situations and the folks behind it, you realize how close any of us could be with a couple, wrong turns or spills of bad luck. You just don't know. Um, and thank God, there are organizations like Blessing Bags, like Wave Project, like McCrest, and these other groups that are there that are going to, provide support when we need it. Thank God we have that, and that's why Giving Tuesday in this whole giving season is so important.
And so I would love to just hear from you, Amanda, kind of thinking about wrapping all this together is, anybody who's listening or watching, and maybe they're kind of just feeling something like stirring that they want to help, whether or not it's even with Wave Project. We would, love to have anybody who wants to help, of course, but even just, maybe just their curiosity is piqued and like, wow, I don't really know how to help people, but I feel like I should. Like, how would you just encourage somebody who's maybe just starting to be curious about this?
Yeah, I mean, obviously just take the step, right? And I mean, I have been so incredibly blessed, as a result of, hanging out with you guys. And I mean, I truly, truly mean that. I have a new view of really what true friendship is, that we go through, if we have tough times, we're texting each other, please pray for me, please pray for, my husband, my wife, this opportunity, my daughter, my son, and we're able to speak truth to one another and tell each other things that are really tough that maybe we don't tell everyone else. And that's something that, I didn't expect coming into this, that I would have this beautiful support system around me and my family. I never expected that to occur. And so my point of saying that is that, taking that step, you're expecting to bless these, whatever your mission is, whatever your purpose is. And man, you just get these blessings just get showered all over you. And that's just how it goes. I think that's just how serving goes. That's the beautiful thing about serving, is that it's all returned back to you, and then some. So take the risk, do it, and the blessings will come.
I love that. I love hearing that. I think for me personally, if I could just add one thing, for me is when I think about why I serve and with Wave, and I've shared it before with you, both of you several times, and just as we were dreaming and moving forward with, serving, is just the legacy. Mm-hmm. And I think about my children, and it's really hard right now with COVID. Pre-COVID, we would have our kids out there, and they would be helping and serving, and we've really, had to step back and really be careful, of course, and follow guidelines, and we're keeping things to a minimum, no extra people, and just really trying to protect our guests, of course, is our number one. But when I think about what motivates me on a personal level, I want my kids to know that serving is a huge part of what gives you joy in your life. It's a huge part of what gives us purpose. Yeah. And, that's so important to me. I love words. I love speaking. I love that. I love talking to my kids, but more powerfully is the action of getting out there. And that just, sometimes it's hard to find ways to do that as a family. So, if you have kids and you're just looking, just look for small ways to serve. And, Wave Project, we've got the little pantry going in Mount Clemens, and it's really simple. It's really small, it's nothing flashy, but it's out there and it needs support. And if you, want to pick up some granola bars and some bottled water. That is just, it's an easy way to get out there and serve with your kids. And so that for me is a huge driving factor in just wanting to be involved and have my kids see what it looks to live a life that's about more than just myself.
Right.
Oh man, and I just love you guys, and I think the beautiful thing about these podcasts, and hopefully the ability to share these stories with people, is that it goes past just something we see on social media or an email we receive. Like wonderful, like awesome moms, professionals, people that have full lives that, as you guys are saying, that are just taking the moments that are given to them and trying to pay it forward, show care, and then through that being blessed. To your point, Amanda, and then
Right.
as you're saying, Sarah, like just doing what we would hope other people would do for us. Our children are seeing the way of love, and our children are seeing the way of service when appropriate and safe. Able to be a part of that, so much so that I know that's true for all of us. Our kids, it's sort of just normal. It's what they do, and it's
Right.
what they're a
Right.
part of, and it doesn't make us any better or worse than anybody else. But it's just the idea of saying, hey, take one step and see what God with that. I think you guys gave me a hard stop. There's like a fairy godmother and some of those things that are heading our way, but I do want to give us an opportunity, if we can, to just say thank you again. And I want to set it up this way. As I'm thinking about Giving Tuesday, all of the people that have just blessed us, and a part of this, wonder, and it makes me think of the Bible story of how a rich man came up and made a big show of dropping a whole bag of money, an offering. Then the poor woman came and had a couple of coins. Whether it's $10,000, $10, I'd like you to just kind of look into your camera and imagine you're talking to one. What would you say to somebody who gave what they had or contributed in any way to Wave Project?
Yeah, I would just say thank you so much. Thank you for investing in something that's bigger than yourself, for something that's really bigger than all of us, for investing in just a heart to love people. And it sounds so simple, and it really actually is so simple, but it doesn't make it any less powerful and beautiful. So just thank you for thinking of other people, more than yourself, and just having a heart to reach people who need to be loved.
Yeah, and I agree. I mean, I feel like there's a lot of things competing for our hard-earned dollars these days, and we're one of them. And thank you so much. We just really take it very seriously. We know how blessed we are with every single dollar we've been given. I mean, I've heard both Todd and Sarah, like, I can't believe people are continue to give to us, and that this is happening, right? And it's beautiful, and we take it really seriously.
Yeah.
And we are very strategic and cautious about how we use those dollars, and we do that because we want to love on a lot of people. And so thank you for trusting us and giving us the ability to do that. And we cannot do that without the money. I mean, that's how the world works, right? We cannot do that, and it's so important. So thank you, thank you, thank you for every single penny that you've donated to Wave Project. We love you, and we just thank you for it.
Yeah.
Awesome. And just to tag on to that, every time you see a picture or you hear amazing stories like Amanda and Sarah, know that if you volunteered in a single day or a part of a day, you're like Rick's Tire that's out in Shelby. Just this week was so kind to us. Some repairs on the aid donation, care of us, or any number of our partners, volunteers, or donors. You see a picture, if you hear a story, you even see a sticker on the back of a truck, know that because of you. And you're right. We are just blown away. We didn't get into this for the money. And there was actually a point, Sarah, you'll remember this, where we were sort of joking about it. We had $87 in the account. You know what I'm talking about? Like we were.
I know.
So for us, it's just so amazing that God has provided, and we're confident He will continue to provide.
Yeah.
But it's the relationship, welcoming, loving people. With that being said, the campaign, what's your hashtag there, Amanda, that we came up with on the marketing team?
So blessed and so clean.
Oh, man.
I love it.
So what 90s rap reference is that right there? What it,
Outcast.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I'm showing my street cred, right? Yeah. All right. Outcast, so blessed and so clean. Our campaign is actually running through the end of December. And just so you can have a little bit of context here, we, like the lady said, run on the weekends primarily because we're volunteer driven. We want to expand. We want to open up opportunity to operate on the weekdays. And your contributions to our campaign through the end of the year will help make that happen. So we just want to invite you to be generous. And we're looking at it in terms of if you can donate $150 for 1 day of service to fund 1 day of service. You could donate $300 for a week, and aggregate that out. Our goal is $28,800 for 2021. And we're hoping to raise those funds so we can get the trailer out on the street. So of course we can take care of those basic needs, but more importantly, we go to the need, break down those barriers of transportation and circumstance. We can love on. I invite you to go to waveproject.org and get involved with that. Ladies, like I said, the Cinderella time is coming. Do you have anything else you want to add before we wrap up this boy?
Oh, I think we've done it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for your time, guys.
Right. Well, once again, if you like anything that you're hearing and you'd like to hear it again, please hit that like button and that subscribe button. Subscribe, that's how you say that word. And please share it. I know it's, a couple of extra steps. You don't want to bother folks, but it really does help us with all of the Google algorithms and the Facebook algorithms and all of those things. Please do that if you can. All major podcast outlets, and we just so much appreciate you and value you. Thank you for letting us do what we do, and please, come out and volunteer if you can. Thank you so much. Take care.